Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm revealing my Formula One inspired composite steering wheel. This is a steering wheel project that began, summer of 2019, last year. And it's something that, I don't know, I've been just sort of messing with here and there and working on it as I had time. Now, this is a composite steering wheel. I don't know if it shows up on the camera. You can see the weaving here. I can see it clearly. Again, I don't know if it's coming through on the camera or not, but composite doesn't mean carbon fiber. A composite is just using two materials together to work in unison. This is actually G10. It is similar to fiberglass. Knife handles, pistol stocks, that kind of thing are made out of G10 oftentimes. And so I made this wheel. It is 1.5 inches thick in this direction and a little over 1 inch thick in this direction, about 1.25 inches. And it was made with 3 separate 1/2 inch thick layers of G10 that were individually cut out, sandwiched together, and then screwed together. And also there are, on the back side, there are alignment pins that are driven through to hold all the layers together as one without scooting. And then it's grafted onto the original steering wheel hub. And I'll put a link in the description below to the first fabrication video for this wheel. And I've got a second fabrication video of the completion of the wheel, the last steps of it, that I will be editing and putting up soon. I didn't want to make this video too long by showing more of the fabrication. I just wanted to show you guys the finished product. Now, this is not a wheel I'm going to be producing for resale. If somebody wants this one wheel, I would discuss selling it, but it very much has a handmade, I whittled it from a block of wood kind of look to it. It is very precise in that I measured it and drew it out. You'll see that in the fabrication video. But it is, it's very slightly asymmetrical left to right, where the thumb recesses are slightly different on each side and that kind of thing. It's imperfect. There are a couple of voids in the material that I filled with epoxy and sanded smooth, and so it definitely has an imperfect look to it. So I'm not necessarily 100% sold on the look of it. I do love the look of the weaving. I'm not sure about the look of the screws. Maybe I'll fill those with a black filler and sand it down. I don't know, but this is the raw material. It's not been painted. It was just cut out, smooth, rounded, and then polished with a buffing wheel. There are some scratches on it. I have so many hours into it. I wanted to finally get it installed in the car. But in the sunlight, it looks fantastic. You can see the weaving and various layers of it. Now, the reason that I made this wheel, kind of a couple of reasons. First, when Tesla released pictures of the Model 3 design sketches, it was an image from the passenger door opening through the car. And the screen was lower than the stock location, and it had a wheel like this, flat at the bottom, rounded corners, flat at the sides, rounded, and then it terminates with a hollow in the center. A cut top Formula One style wheel. And I really like that look, and I understand for marketing reasons and worldwide legality in that you really couldn't market a wheel like that. So they gave it a round steering wheel. But I wanted to replicate it as close as I could, and so this is what I came up with. Also, I wanted a wheel that wasn't upholstered, so this is the finished wheel. I made it thick enough that I don't want to add any upholstery to it. It would just make it even thicker. Alright, so you can see the view through the passenger side of the car, the lowness, the height of the screen, and the profile of the wheel. Now, if I pan down and show you, that's the sketch that Tesla gave, and that's my interior. So it is very, very close in look. So that's what I wanted to achieve, was essentially what Tesla gave us in this sketch. And as you go close to the wheel, you can see the surface finish of it. I'll go around to the other side and show you there. So you can see, I don't know if you can see the surface finish of it there, but you can see some of the weaving. Like I said, it's imperfect. I need to do some more polishing to get the surface scratches out, but you can definitely see the weaving. There are a couple of spots. This was a void in the material that I filled with an epoxy and sanded down smooth. I'll coat that black when I got a chance, but I'm debating about whether or not to paint it. But I like the overall look of the wheel. But that's the view inside the from the driver's seat. Let me come around here, give you a look through the back. So there is a view directly from the driver's seat. That's what I'm seeing when I'm driving. So I really like the overall look, and I like being able to see the tablet right through the top of the wheel. So pretty cool. I'll tell you, even though the look is probably a little polarizing and I'm not 100% sure I'm in love with the look of it, I got to tell you though, the feel in driving with this wheel is absolutely second to none. It is awesome. And what I mean by that is a number of things. First, just the surface finish. It's nice and smooth. It feels very good on the hands. It's very comfortable. I can wrap my fingers all the way around behind the wheel, even at this grip point. The stock wheel, the spoke grows right off of the wheel, and if you hold it at the spoke, your fingers can't wrap around. With this wheel, my fingers can wrap all the way around, even at the spoke. It is a little unfinished because the spokes are opened up down to their aluminum framework, but it's very comfortable in that regard. I made this wheel the way I would want it, not really with a mind to be marketing these. And what I like in a wheel, I wanted it cut at the top for a number of reasons. One is to match the look that Tesla released. Number two, I like the clear view of the low dash. Number three, I wanted to install my screen here. That is just the cheapest 6-inch Samsung tablet that I could find. And it's running the Scan My Tesla app. And I wanted to have that screen mounted in such a position that it was easy to see from the road, and I didn't want it blocked from the wheel. I also like a very short wheel, but very wide. So technically almost an oval shape. The reasons for that, I like a low wheel, but then it's hard to get in and out of the car because it's so low, your thighs hit it. So I like a raised lower section. I like a flat bottom, so I can easily rest my hands on it. I like flat sides, but I wanted them tipped inward slightly for ergonomics. And I also wanted to be able to put my hands on top of the wheel without, with the previous wheels that I've cut, the round wheel comes up and ends at about this angle, and I can put my hands on top of it, and that's fine. But I wanted even more comfort to have my hands at the top, which is what this wheel affords with that tip-in angle. And I wanted to have it sculpted where my thumbs go. But one thing about this wheel that jumps out tremendously is when you're driving, when I'm in the car in twisty back roads, I find that the flat sides give a more positive feel to the wheel. What it also does is when I'm watching the road, not looking down at the wheel, I always know exactly where my hands are because the sides of the wheel are flat. Now, theoretically, you could know that by having your thumbs at the spokes, but when you're sliding the wheel around and driving aggressively, it's nice to have these flat sides. You can very easily find the location of the wheel rotationally within your hands. So it's very, very nice to hold on to in that regard. One other thing that I found that I love about this wheel is I tend to drive very often like this. And holding the wheel from the lower corners, with a round wheel, the wheel cuts this corner and it comes in about here, the round wheel. So I'm reaching further in to grab the wheel at that point, and it's very round, so my hands want to slide. Here, they're sharper corners, and those corners are poked outward, so my elbows can sit much more comfortably on the armrests and still reach the wheel at these corners. And as with holding it to the sides, these corners give me a little bit more positive area to grip the wheel. So, so those are the reasons behind it. It is very, very comfortable to use. Even though there's these screw heads, they're very close to the surface of the wheel. You don't really feel them much. And the stock wheel has a bunch of stitching seams on the inside that when you wrap your hands around, you can feel the seams. So this wheel is actually more comfortable just from a feel on the skin than the stock wheel. It's very very smooth, and yet you can still grab it very positively. So I love it. I love it. And I have again, I really have no interest in making a bunch of these wheels to sell. It took way too much time. I probably have in excess of 30 hours, maybe closer to 35 or 40 hours of labor in making this wheel. Just too much time. But I am working on other cut top and then cut top flat bottom wheels as well that are easier to make, that don't require $750 of upholstering, which when I cut a wheel, if I pull the stock upholstery off, cut the wheel, flatten the bottom, and have it foam work and upholstery done, it's $750. And yes, I shopped around. That's a consistent price from a couple different shops that I spoke with. And it takes a couple months to do, and I got to drive the wheel to a shop. It's just a pain. So I wanted to deal with, I wanted to make my own wheel without having to deal with the upholstery shops as an issue. So that was another reason I made this wheel. And again, I have other wheels, cut top wheels that don't require any reupholstery, that just use the factory upholstery. I've designed a couple of wheels that are that I will be marketing. In fact, one of them is already up on my Shopify page for sale, one style wheel. So you can be keeping your eye out for that. But I wanted to share this with you guys. I love this wheel. I'm sure it's not everybody's taste. In fact, it's probably only a small portion of the public will really like it. But it's something that I wanted to make for me. By the way, it only takes me less than 10 minutes to swap wheels, and I've got stock round wheel, and I've got other cut wheels that I can install at any time, so it's not a problem for me to switch wheels back and forth. But I wanted to show you guys this wheel. I thought you'd get a kick out of it. I'm kind of becoming known as the person modifying, you know, the driver's cockpit of a Model 3. So this is the latest iteration of that. So anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in. This is just a very brief video. I wanted to give you guys an overview of the wheel, but really love it. Keep your eye open for the fabrication video coming up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Got some cool other videos coming up about the Scan My Tesla app, and some very deep data regarding that, as well as other technical info on the Model 3. So this is going to be a great year. I'm very excited for it. So anyway, thanks guys. Give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and as always, stay charged.